to the Kryptonaut Podcast. I'm Mark Storrs, and with me, as always, is...
I am Chris.
And...
Oh, that was beautiful. Rob Morphy.
Chris and Rob, good to have you back. Good to be here.
Thanks.
Good to see you guys.
Thanks for inviting us.
In a peaceful environment.
We didn't just record an episode. That's not a big deal. No. Not at all. We're not doing a two-bagger tonight.
Back to back?
No big.
Ridiculous.
No big. Find us on the social medias.
You know
Facebook.
what? Let's do it with a little more passion this time.
Find us on the social medias at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can look up Kryptonaut Podcast, and you'll find us there, and you can follow us, and we'll follow you back.
Oh, my God.
Hey, geez. Furthering ruining the world.
Yeah. We're all Krusty the fucking clown.
Yeah, it's true. It's horrible.
All right, social medias and ratings and reviews for the podcast help us out greatly, and we appreciate when everybody leaves us a rating and review on the iTunes and the Apple Podcast app. Again, that helps our numbers. It helps us reach more people, so feel free to do that, and we will read them on the show. This week, actually, we're going to dig into the Facebook review archives.
Yeah, we haven't gone there in a little bit.
Yeah. So if you, for some reason, if you can't leave a rating or review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, you can always jump over to our Facebook page, and you can leave a rating and review there, and that also helps us out as well.
Sweet.
Wicked.
Thank you.
Going to be a little change of pace this week.
Yeah.
Mark,
different.
who ordinarily will be reading our reviews,
is not doing
has
it today.
passed the mic.
Yeah, today.
No, I'm pretty sure you did it on one of the past
couple
pods.
of you did,
Maybe
yeah.
you haven't,
Oh,
you
really?
haven't heard
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
well,
it
I
happened
feel like
before.
this is a special occasion. I just wanted to commemorate it.
All right.
All right. Well, it could be official. This is the champagne bottle on the ship.
Some reviews.
Cutting the ribbon.
I know. Do you want to read some, Chris?
No.
Oh, God damn it. I know. I tried to fucking Tom Sawyer with the whitewash. Dude, this is so hot. This is the best thing you can do. But Mark foisted it on me. Now I'm fucking doing it.
I don't know. Someday, maybe.
No, I actually love it. I love the fact that we're getting these reviews. I love the fact that they're so overwhelmingly positive. And most importantly, that people seem to really get what we're trying to do.
Yeah, totally. No,
which is awesome.
I talk to people on the socials all the time, and everyone's super cool and super fun, and I'm happy to talk with them. And
Abstronically.
Cool. They make the internet a better place.
Oh.
And that's what we should all be striving to do.
We are the world.
Oh, God. Hands across America. Crypto aid.
Okay, great crypto aid.
All right, Rob, read us some reviews from the old Facebook page.
Our first review is from Erica Merhoff, and it is a 5-star rating.
Ooh.
Thank you, Erica.
Just started listening, even though it's been in my line for a while. Love it. Makes me laugh out loud at work to the point where I get stared at like crazy. I'm sorry, like I'm crazy.
Oh, you're doing that. You got your earbuds in, you're listening, and all of a sudden you start maniacally laughing in the office, and no one knows why.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Someone just lost their shit. Thank you, Erica.
I do that all the time, actually. I'll be around my house or at work listening to something, and I start laughing out loud uncontrollably.
Oh, totally.
I love it.
Totally. My niece Peyton sent me a random email while I was working on articles in the wee hours. I was purely exhausted, and it was just this dumbest effing thing. And I laughed to the point where I was starting to get nervous. Like I'm biting my finger like, people are going to hear. They're going to start taking you away.
Yeah.
It was fucking weird. So our next review, also a 5-star, from Corey Kyle Galvin. These guys make my workdays interesting. Discovered this podcast last week sometime, and they have quickly made their way into my weekly rotations right alongside podcasts such as Astonishing Legends, Lore, and the Not Alone podcast.
Oh, that's a
good company to be in.
Totally.
I feel like these guys are friends of mine sitting around telling stories.
Hey, that's what we're doing.
Well,
cool.
we are.
That's the deal.
And we're
And
buddies.
thank you, Corey.
Yeah, totally.
We're all buddies now.
Friendship.
Friendship rules.
I mean, if we were really friends, you'd send us cookies and beer, but I'm just saying.
Well, maybe someday.
Okay,
Dustin Benefield, 5 stars.
Thank you, Dustin.
Easily one of my fave new podcasts, and I'm already almost caught up with the backlog.
Cool.
Phenomenal.
Awesome.
That's
yeah.
great, because we're still, kind of new kids on the block, as it were. So
We're
it's,
approaching episode 30, but
in terms of Kryptonaut.
No,
so
totally.
Yes.
Totally, yeah.
yeah, still a chance to catch up and not be overwhelmed.
Yeah, totally.
Next one, another 5-star review. Ava Kudnick. And she has an awesome drawing of a Hedora that looks kind of like a Powerpuff.
It's not kind of.
Girls.
It is.
It's super dope.
It is.
She sent us, she posted the image up on the Facebook
Oh,
page
of the
her
NASA
NASA
Gargoyle. Yeah, that's
That was
awesome.
cool.
Thank
you,
you, Ava.
actually, for the art, to everyone out there that sends art. Thank
we
you
love
very
it.
much.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
art
love
is bomb.
Totally.
Ava says, love this podcast a whole lot. full of fun and interesting encounters/stories, hosted by a bunch of great guys. Fucking A right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
right.
you, Ava.
And again, thank you for the
We look
Nasa
forward to the
gargoyle.
cookies you send us.
Dropping the cookie hint.
Yeah, anybody out there that wants to do any art, just put it on the Facebook page or tag us on Instagram or put it up on Twitter or whatever, so we can definitely see it. But thank you to everyone who has sent
And
art
I
as
think
well.
this is our last one. This is another 5-star review from Amy Bobin Cassell.
Okay.
Love the podcast, 3 exclamation points.
Nice.
Feel as though I'm amongst friends, 5 motherfucking stars.
Hey.
Thank you, Amy.
Awesome. Thank you
and
very much.
you are amongst friends.
Appreciate it.
Totally.
Can't wait to taste those cookies you send.
Oh, my God.
Chris is just working every angle to get cookies.
Well, frosted cookies especially.
I'll take any
I'm not
cookies,
big into
man.
cookies,
Yeah,
but,
you know what?
That's cool.
Why?
Okay, nobody
Oh.
listen to what's happening right now. 'Cause
It's not my deal. I'm
if he
sorry.
says something, just ignore it. If it has to do with food.
We love cookies. We'll eat Mark's share.
All right, so let's get the show started proper this week with this is fun.
This one's called
Stumps.
not the Broadway play with garbage cans.
Stumps.
Stumping it.
No, I think
All
that's Stomps.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so here yeah, did
Stumps.
you get stomp confused with stumps?
No, it's just they very similar
There is-
words.
yeah.
Okay,
I was
yeah.
just saying. No, I didn't think that these
It
things
was
were called Stomp, nor did I think the play was called Stump.
Right.
Could you imagine if it's just a bunch of fucking tree stumps on stage?
Yep.
Just bitching.
being
I used to have limbs.
being
Bi-
stumped.
bitching. What happened?
Oh, that's funny. All right, so here we go. Stumps. While walking down a dark stretch of rural road, a pair of
Oh, boy.
teenage girls had a terrifying run-in with a peculiar pack of creatures which quite simply should not exist.
Boom. They shouldn't.
They should not.
They're unreal to the max.
What's the name of Stumps? Yeah.
They're stumpy.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to start with something I don't usually do. Usually I jump right into the case, but I'm gonna throw a little just a background idea.
Okay, cool.
Much to the skeptic's delight, it seems that alleged extraterrestrials are all too often described as humanoid by eyewitnesses. I think we just talked about this.
We did, yeah.
Considering the vast biodiversity on the one inhabited planet that we know of, good old Mother Earth, alien entities should not only not necessarily resemble human beings in any way, shape, or form, but statistically speaking, shouldn't look anything like us. The fact that so many alien visitors seem to resemble us is, to say the least, a perplexing trend. It is therefore significant that this case seems to represent a trio of truly alien entities.
All right, so we're moving off the biodiversity scale here.
Well, they're just fucking strange.
All right,
It's
cool.
not the typical 2 leg, 2 arms, bilateral symmetry bullshit that we're used to. On the night of April 5th, 1966, just outside the small coastal city of Newport, Oregon, a 16-year-old girl by the name of Kathy Reeves, along with her unnamed friend, had a run-in with a drove of creatures so strange that they almost defied description.
Stumps.
Stumps. On the night in question, the duo were walking toward Reeves' home when they suddenly sensed that someone or something was following them under the cover of darkness. The girls whirled around to see what they described as something akin to a, and I'm quoting here, flashlight with a cover over the end. Now, we all did this a lot. Kids aren't allowed really out so much, and this is not me like, old man Rob bitching. Kids are like helicopter parents and
No,
they can't do
yeah.
it. But we used to walk around at night a lot.
Yeah,
and I
we
remember
did.
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
psych myself the fuck out.
Right.
Very often. Like I'd be walking alone or with just a buddy, and it's like if you're in a place without street lights, out in the middle of fucking nowhere, it is really eerie.
No,
So I
you
kind of
can-
get this feel like, you're a couple of girls, you're walking, maybe expected some like teen boys or whatever, just playing hell, but it's still eerie. So it's something I can really identify.
They describe it as a flashlight
with a cover over the end,
end.
or maybe a hand covering it. I'm not sure, but that's literally what they said. That's a quote.
Like a sheet or like.
I don't know what they mean by cover. Like I've never
Yeah,
seen
what do you-
like no one has a screw-on cap on a flashlight. Like
Yeah,
fuck
no.
this beam.
That's what I mean. That's why I assume you just meant something that like
Yeah. I don't know.
Covering it.
like a yeah.
All right.
But Kathy or her friend literally said a flashlight with a cover over the end.
All right, well, I'm sure they're going to go into more description of what they saw. So.
Okay, Raj.
Oh, absolutely.
Whoa.
Hey,
wow.
hey, everyone.
Wow. Jeez, really?
We're all pretty. We can all go to the prom.
Don't tell me what's coming. You don't know.
You and I are not going to the prom.
We might.
No, we're not.
Well, we're
I'm
young.
not going with anyone.
Maybe.
You're going stag by yourself. We're all
Come
going
on.
stag by ourselves.
Yeah.
We're going to stare in the corner
We're all gonna be
angrily at each
the
other.
mean girls looking at each other like, my friend. Didn't text me back.
Reeves. Kathy Reeves.
Kathy Reeves.
And her friend, believing that they were being tailed by a prankster attempting to frighten them and showing a hell of a lot more courage than I would have in a similar plight, and that's a fact, began to pick up rocks from the roadside and hurl them at their unseen stalker.
Nice. Respect. They were like, we're not dealing with this
No.
shit. Get some stones
I'm
and
not
throw
sure
'em.
what they're seeing, though.
Yo, I'm young. I'm hot. It's a flashlight with a cover.
That's what I
Fuck
mean.
you. Here's a rock
what,
in your
is
face.
It just, look, what is it? Is that just a
I guess
floating
it's like,
flashlight?
it's just a floating
with-
beam of light that's intermittently being covered, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I can only report what I've read.
Right.
So I'm just doing the best
Okay.
I can.
We'll do better, Rob.
I'll do better.
Wow, we're all going to go to the prom, guys.
I know.
We're all going to the
All right,
prom.
listen.
Don't worry. All right? It's going to be good.
Already running my tux. All right.
Well, you're not going.
God damn it.
Why are you not going? Is he the chaperone?
I knew you were going to steal it from me. I knew it.
You got to drink punch all night.
No. There's no punch.
If you're the
There
chaperone.
are only stumps.
Yes, there's only stumps. It's a prom of stumps. That's all you get.
This is fucking weird. All right.
It
Focus.
was then. I know, it's really hard. It was then that the relatively dim light was extinguished completely. The girls were immersed in darkness when suddenly an array of much more intense beams were switched on, enveloping the now alarmed girls. So,
Okay.
little flashlight beam
Right.
with anomalous covering that we can't quite fucking imagine.
Figure
Okay.
out.
Black,
Okay.
shadows, no street light,
More of them.
and then poof,
And then a bunch of them.
like fucking
Multiple.
Kalik City, just
All right.
bam.
After they were
And
tossing,
super
after they were
illuminated.
throwing stones. All
Yeah.
right, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
they probably shouldn't have thrown stones.
No, get more stones.
In the flash of the illumination, the teens claimed they saw an indistinct dome-shaped object set on the road behind them, which looked as if it were, and I apologize, but this is what they said, as high as a room. So,
So like 10 feet
you
tall.
know, that is a very specific thing. Yes,
Well,
let's
like,
assume the average room in
well,
an American
10
home
feet. Yeah.
in the mid-60s in Oregon was, say, 10 feet tall.
Okay. So 10 feet tall.
High as a room.
High as a
Could
room.
have just
Yep.
said 10 feet tall, but no big deal.
Well, they're kids. The strange dome was surrounded by lights and smoke, which gave off a ruddy glow as if the object were on fire. So it's emitting it's a fog machine with 14 lights.
This is like an early
reddish
80s
glow.
metal video.
Oh, yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
totally
it
the
is,
beginning
yeah.
of the video. Two teenage girls walking home at night, chuck rocks. They think it's a little stalker, and all of a sudden,
I know.
and then the band
Is this
shows
Shout
up.
Out the Devil? What is this?
Shout out the devil.
Oh,
The once daring girls, now understandably overwhelmed with fear, hastily dashed away from the object in the road, desperate to make it back to Reeves' parents' home without further event. They would not be so lucky.
man.
As the terrified girls sprinted around the corner in a desperate bid to distance themselves from the smoke-shrouded dome, they were stopped dead in their tracks by an even more disturbing vision.
What?
Cutting across their path and heading over a paddock that led toward the domed object were three truly alien entities that nearly shattered the teens' already precarious notions of reality.
What the fuck?
When later interviewed by Deputy Sheriff Thomas W. Price and local media outlets, Reeves would describe the creatures as resembling three headless, armless little tree stumps that scuttled across the road on spider-like appendages that resembled taproots.
Oh, weird.
Stumps.
Okay.
Weird.
So let's just let this sink in for a
All
minute.
right.
But if you're saying something that's a stump, why do you have to say armless and headless to begin with?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
But now here's the thing.
Right?
Maybe she only said they kind of look like stumps later. Maybe it's like
Right.
it didn't have any discernible head, didn't have any discernible arms, had crazy root-like scuttle-ass legs,
Okay.
and then later on said, well, the basic
looked like it was a
spider?
stump. More like a stump.
Okay.
That's
All right.
that's my assumption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even more distressing was the fact that these beings seemed to lack the basic bilateral symmetry. again something we discussed,
Yeah.
that evolution has employed on nearly all the animals found on Earth, as these creatures appeared to be a random cluster consisting of myriad limbs and lopsided surfaces. So
What-
just
what
a
is it? I don't even know what that
sloppy,
mean- yeah.
scuttling
weird.
mess.
Just mess,
Like a
yeah.
shittily cut down tree that gets yanked from the earth so its roots are hanging out.
And it bucks.
And now it's booking. Yeah.
3 of them.
3 of them.
Weird.
I know. When later interviewed by, taproots, okay, so I did, lopsided surfaces. As if this weren't quite bizarre enough, Reeves would go on to say that the odd entities were clad in multicolored outfits. Yeah, enjoy that. That were orange, blue, white, yellow, and watermelon colored.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, you know,
So, how do you put clothes on a stump?
yeah.
How do you?
How do you clothe a stump?
Like, what do you do?
That's a
Like,
fundamental question.
How do you?
I know you're picturing like a wide short thing, but maybe it's not necessarily. Maybe
Well,
it's,
we have an artist rendition here from Robert.
Yeah, I did. That was my best version based on what we have heard.
Right.
What's that on the top?
It's just a jagged
It's a jagged stump.
stump.
Okay.
Lopsided, fucked up. I didn't figure it was cut flat across, though it might have
I know
been.
because you say stump, and that's what you.
That's what you
picture.
think.
Yeah.
But a tree stump could be anything where the top part of the tree is
Well,
gone.
well, yeah. It might.
Right.
I mean, a tree stump could be like 3 feet and still be a stump.
Sure.
Technically,
Yeah.
right? I mean, so
I mean, but bear in mind, this is just my artistic interpretation.
Yeah.
I didn't get to actually talk with Kathy and have her like in the optimal situation, which has not happened very often for me, but when it has, I'm always grateful. You get to talk to an eyewitness, and then they tell you specifically, no, it was more like this,
Yeah,
less
right,
like
right.
this,
Right, right.
But when you're going from what descriptions that basically were passed down from newspaper reports or MUFON reports or whatever
Yeah.
investigators at the time, you just have to make do with what you have.
Right.
yeah.
And when I hear about lopsided surfaces and random clusters of roots, that was
Yeah. I
what I
mean,
did.
you got to do the best you can with what
but
you
the
got.
fucking
Stump.
shirts and or outfits, orange, blue, white, yellow, and watermelon colored. Now we're allegedly dealing with 3 creatures, so I'm assuming that the outfits were multicolored.
Well, yeah.
Unless there were like Starfleet uniforms, and one had an orange and one had a blue, and one was
Yeah.
Johnny
No,
Watermelon.
yeah. I'm just assuming they all had multicolor,
I mean, Technicolor dream coats or whatever, but
crazy Doctor Who
it's
coats.
fucking nuts. The girl stared in stunned disbelief at the speedy, though eerily silent critters as they scampered over the crest of the field and out of sight. Unable to control their horror, the teens' terrified shrieks cut through the darkness as they dashed for the safety of Reeves' home in what must have seemed like the longest run of their young lives. That was it. They fucking saw the UFO, the light hits them,
Right.
the thing scuttled across the street, so now we're just going to deal with the aftermath quickly.
Okay.
Needless to say, once rumors of the teenage girl's back road run-in with the presumably alien Stumps, not to mention what appeared to be a landed UFO, the city of Newport and the Reeves estate in particular became overrun with curiosity seekers and members of the press all hoping to catch a glimpse of something unusual. According to Jerome Clark, in his 2000 edition of Extraordinary Encounters, an encyclopedia of extraterrestrials and otherworldly beings, one of the few to find luck in this manner was Deputy Price, who reported seeing strange moving lights soaring in the skies above the Reeves home, but the strange creatures were never seen again. This brief and unique flap ended as swiftly as it started, but one has to wonder if perhaps a few of these anomalous beings might not have lingered behind. After all, what better disguise could a creature hiding in a wooded area have than to resemble a tree stump? Granted, take off your fucking shirt, but still.
Yeah, your plaid.
Yeah, your sweet,
Crazy
sweet
coat.
tie-dye fucking weird outfit. So basically, what I imagine for these things, I can't help it. When I see them move, it's like the end of fucking Beetlejuice in my mind when Lydia Dietz's like weird ass fucking sculptures come to life and it's all stop motion animation.
Yeah.
That's just what I see.
All right.
But I can't help but to imagine that if you are going to be, I mean, the Vegetable Man was a weird celery stalk ass fucking rabbit eared weird thing.
Yeah.
But if you look like a tree or a stump and all you have to do is freeze and no one will ever look twice at you because no one's going to assume you're
Especially if you're in
an
a
animal.
highly wooded area.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, not in the middle of like a street or something, but then you're going to be like, that's like flawless camouflage. You almost have to wonder, are we constantly surrounded by cryptids that we just cannot identify?
We don't know, yeah.
Because
Could
there's a lake monster that basically was seen in Liana. I'm not going to say it right, but it was basically like a stick bug, and the guy didn't even know it was next to him until its eyes opened, and then it plunged down. So there are you have to wonder, like, things we just take for granted could be really impeccable camouflage.
I know. They could be. I just feel like in the history of whenever there would be more than one thing of these things.
And yes.
Like stick bugs, especially like
if they were indigenous
we've got
to Earth.
pictures.
Right.
You're right. But if they weren't, then there's got like Dagobah.
No, it's true. No, these scummy things would
like
be
you,
from
right?
totally a Dagobah type place, I would think. But they have a good fashion sense. That's important.
The clothes is kind of
yeah, that's fucked.
Maybe I mean, whatever alien species we're dealing with here, maybe it's not necessarily to us it might look like clothes, but to them it might be something different.
Or it might be clothes.
It very well could be clothes.
These things could look like whatever they look like. If all right, let's assume, and I think we almost have to assume, they were seen cutting across the road, heading in the general direction of the well-lit dome.
Right.
Now, we don't have any proof positive that these goddamn spider stumps with their sweet, sweet shirts have anything to do with what looks like a domed, well-lit UFO parked in the middle of the road.
Well,
But you
right.
have to kind of assume. And so if they are capable of building or at least piloting technology
Right.
and have some sort of fashion sense, then you have to assume they're intelligent. So maybe they're just visiting Earth, and it's
yeah,
like maybe they thought the
maybe not.
trees were the population. Maybe
Or,
they
you
were
know,
in
it
the
could
woods
be
going
like,
"Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Why are they talking?"
Oh, it
Are
was
they
like Star Trek
dicks?
4. They came looking for trees, and then the trees came to their summons.
Is it the what Star Trek? with-
No,
is
that was sperm whales, but
Okay, yeah, is
But
that
that's-
Star Trek with like whales in space or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
Cool,
Like-
cool. But
Possibly.
also too, I mean, kind of like the bird beasts of Var. Maybe these things are just sort of like creatures that are, from the UFO or getting taken back to the UFO, or they're just going back to, they might not be the pilots of the UFO. They just might be some creature that's along for the
or
ride.
a pet.
Could be a pet. Yeah, I mean, look, we put our pets in outfits. I was gonna buy my
Assholes put their pets in outfits.
cat. I was gonna
Let's be
buy
very
my
clear.
cat a shirt.
That would be something your cat would really hate.
Which is
Maybe.
Cats hate shirts.
It was
They do
more like
normally.
a dome of shame sort of situation because the cat won't stop killing shit. So I'm like, I'm going to put it in a fucking tuxedo shirt.
Oh,
Cats kill shit.
yeah, but that's what they're dangerous, horrible
Well,
predators.
I didn't do it. I voted against
All
it.
right, good. I'm glad.
The cat has no T-shirt, but I had dogs most of my life that all had like cool little outfits.
Then you, sir, are a dick.
Why?
Don't dress your pets.
Why?
Yeah,
I put them in like old metal T-shirts and shit. They love it.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting them in like like
how
Halloween
do they
outfits.
fit in old metal T-shirts?
You never put a dog in a T-shirt. It's the cutest thing ever.
Oh my God.
Never really put a dog in a T-shirt.
Are you doing that for the dog, or are you doing that for you, sir?
I'm looking away. I'm looking in the corner where the garbage is. The
Wow.
garbage.
You guys are totally not going to the prom. So yeah, maybe it's piloting the UFO.
You know what I like to
Maybe
think?
It's
Exchange students. They came here to the fucking forest of Oregon. They're here to hang out.
All right,
They're
yeah.
here for a semester.
Totally.
They studied amongst the earth trees. They learned their ways. Now they're going back home to Spain.
Oh, so that implies the treat like.
Yeah, but then you're implying they're here like cavorting with trees.
Who's to say trees aren't the smartest
I
species
don't
on
know,
Earth?
us.
Yeah, that's typical
There you go.
human arrogance.
Yeah, I feel like
They have this great rule
I feel like
system.
they're probably not.
You don't know.
Yeah.
It could be some
No,
sort of like.
I know.
No,
First
because I
off,
can go chop one down. They don't move, so they're dumb.
oh, really? You can kill it. Ergo, it isn't
Oh,
smart.
you're in the religion of salad screamers, aren't you?
I was gonna say, is this the cry of the carrots? Is
Dude,
that like
They put the ranch on
When
the
you mow a
romaine. And it's
lawn-
like,
no, Rob, don't eat me.
they're screaming at
Don't
you.
eat me.
All right.
Salad
I will
screamers.
grant you, fuckers,
Salad screamers.
and that's an awesome phrase. That I don't necessarily believe in the idea that plants have an intelligence similar to humans, but there are like those things where, especially in the 70s, I don't know where the research is now. Well, actually, there is still research. I saw Nova not that long ago that
Did
kind of
you?
dealt with it. Yes.
All right.
Where plants communicate like through electronic impulses, and that they might have Emotional
Is this-
response is
What
weird.
do they
It's
have?
not
What
emotional
do they-
Are
response.
you trying to justify your seasonal fruit? Is that what you're trying
Yeah,
to
that's
do?
why I will only eat apples
know.
bi-yearly.
No, you eat like one piece of citrus in the winter
Yeah,
so you don't get scurvy.
yeah, I don't
right?
want scurvy.
You eat one orange in the winter.
Yes.
And then fence off the scurvy.
Yeah,
free.
Have you ever seen me fucking riddled with scurvy?
No.
All right.
You're right.
Mission accomplished. But I'm still talking about I'm talking about plants feeling shit. Mowing your lawn with hate. Don't do it. But that's not the point.
So if you mow it with empathy, then
All right,
they're
are
okay.
you guys really going to full out reject the idea that plants might feel things?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
just a dick move.
No, I'll leave.
That's
You know what?
that's
Chris,
Based on
humanocentrist.
biology,
Chris
there's
will-
no nervous system. There's nothing there.
Chris will go with his.
There's the power of magic and pollen.
Now
So
you
suck
sound
it.
like your niece.
I totally
Playing the
do.
part of Peyton.
Power of magic and pollen. I believe in magic and I hate pollen.
All right, I'm not saying
Therefore-
I think the trees here are smart and that you were here to visit trees.
Okay,
But
good.
The trees here might be smart and they might have come here to visit our trees.
You know, or they're just alien
That's
visitors
true.
that either they are the aliens themselves, or it's some sort of alien pet or creature that is with the aliens. These could very well be they could be piloting.
Well,
this
what if they have the science just
dome.
to animate a couple things and they found some stumps and they just wanted those
Yeah,
stumps?
but
That's
it very
weird.
well could
that's
just be.
creepy. That's even worse to me. The idea that this stump
let's take
would be-
those.
But I mean, the
They
answer is
get
there.
animated.
They have suits
So,
on.
well, they
could
already are
be,
alive.
You know,
they just animated them.
Maybe they were and you guys are going to be dicks to me again because I'm saying the same thing. The first intelligent species, and they were here first, and we're the interlopers. Trees for life, bitch. Arbor Day forever.
We'd have to talk to the aliens
Why do you
themselves.
love trees
not the
so much?
stumps.
I
What
love
if-
trees. Trees are awesome. I'm
They're
not a tree
not.
hugger, but I love trees.
Well, hug a tree.
No,
but I also
I'm a-
love books, and you got to kill the fuck out of trees to make books.
Yeah. So how can
That's
you
what I'm saying.
live in this world of tragedy?
I love animals, but I eat the fidge out of meat.
See, that's what I'm saying though.
I
You
mean,
only eat fruit
I'm
once a year.
vast. I contain multitudes, just like Walt Whitman said. So I contradict myself. Deal with it. All right, let's
That's-
leave that shit
that's
alone. These are either aliens
As people.
from the fucking Superdome in
The
the road,
Thunderdome?
the Thunderdome, or what?
Stumps don't just up and do shit. So
Well, no, but I mean,
Well,
I think
no,
there
not
are-
traditionally.
okay,
there-
what looks like a Rudy stump? 3 running across the road.
I mean, it could be any form of animal, really.
No,
could be
no.
anything.
Any form
I've
of
seen
animal.
a raccoon book across the road,
Yeah.
like on its, like just 2 feet, and,
Yeah.
and it's horrible and
First of all-
terrifying.
well, no,
Yeah.
First of all, it's adorable. It's completely adorable.
No, the way they move,
when
they
you see
look.
when you see a raccoon on its hind 2 feet
Raccoon.
moving,
Depends what
it's
they're.
adorable.
It depends what they're doing. When they're booking for their life in a blizzard, it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
When you discover them going through your trash can, it's kind of cute.
That's different. I still wouldn't. I don't think I'd mistake that for a stump.
No,
No, but I mean,
never.
I think maybe like you could maybe like a possum, possibly.
Really?
Or I don't know.
How big do possums get in your world?
Pretty big, fairly big.
Big enough to be fucking stumps running across the road?
Small tree, sure, totally. They didn't give dimensions of these stumps.
They
What
didn't.
is going on?
Okay.
Is there just a secret store in nature where they go to have like stump costumes to hide from humans?
Could you
Is that what you're
imagine?
saying? Like,
No, I'm just saying that because these girls were out on a road and it was late and they were
All
scared.
right, it was late. It was
Something-
dark.
yeah,
They were
dark.
already frightened
They were
by
scared.
the well-illuminated
Something
dome.
very well could have scurried across the street and they could have just seen it briefly and been like, oh shit, it was a stump with a suit.
3 of them.
Here's the beef I have
Yeah.
with that. You don't make that
Yeah.
mistake 3 times, probably.
But they're running
If
together.
it was like deer, you'd still know it was deer. You'd be startled and scream because you'd be
Right.
like, "Oh my god, I'm already scared." But then you'd quickly recognize, plus that they were whatever animals they were because the girls are clearly from this area. More importantly, what fucking wildlife wears fucking an outfit of
I just talked about
watermelon
how I
yeast?
dress
Yeah,
my dogs up
I
in
forgot
clothes.
about the
That's
Doctor
an
Who
important
jacket.
factor.
It's true.
The orange, the blues, the whites.
Yeah.
That just doesn't happen unless
All right.
unless again a deer ran through somebody's
No, I don't think we're dealing
Miller's
with a
laundry
deer.
line.
I think if you're looking at maybe like a smaller type of creature, like we mentioned, like a raccoon or a possum or something like that. Maybe even a fox. I mean,
But
shit,
then you'd
foxes
say it's like a
totally
little
do
tiny
that.
plant. The fact that they're stumps makes me think
I knew
they're a
well,
little
that's
more.
the weird thing.
I don't know.
Right.
Like if they
impressive.
saw like roots, that means they saw like a bunch of shit underneath.
Yeah.
and they
Right.
saw 3 of them.
If they were the size of cats, I don't think it would have struck them.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right.
So I assume.
Well, but I'm just playing skeptical.
Devil's advocate, I know.
Skeptical advocate here that they got scared. They saw some
Skeptical
raccoons.
advocate.
They freaked out.
I
just
do
don't
not think they were multicolored raccoons.
It's a possibility.
No, because you'd know it was a raccoon. By the third one, you'd be like, oh, it's a fucking raccoon.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't think that one ran and then there was a pause. Another one ran and there was a pause. I think they were all scurrying in a group.
Then you'd still know it was 3 fucking raccoons.
Or do you?
Oh, fuck.
Really,
man.
you'd fuck everyone up.
Does your fear get the best of you?
So
No.
if it was 100, they'd be like, it was clearly 100 stumps. Not one out of the 100 I was able
I
to
think
pick
by
out.
the time the 100 raccoons passed, you would realize, like, oh, that is in fact not a raccoon. That is a stump.
No, but like we've all been in cars and stuff, and shit have just. And for a second, you're just like, what the hell?
Yes.
And then you know what it is.
Yes.
Right.
So I feel like 3 of these, you'd know if it was
I
one
mean,
of
I
those
don't
things.
want it to be a raccoon. I want it to be stumps with t-shirts.
You want it to be fucking
I want it to be a
stumps with plaid
Yeah, totally.
Fucking sweet old
Ish.
Iron Maiden shirts.
Yeah, definitely.
Fresh
Yeah.
from the concert.
or
Yeah.
tie-dyed maybe.
if
I don't
we
even
are-
know.
So let's just say that, okay, could
Heading
they
to Burning Man.
Could they have popped? Really? Nice. Good callback to a conversation that
Yeah.
wasn't on the pod. So if they did see something that wasn't actually the aliens and they misidentified it, okay, that is clearly a possibility. Clearly a possibility. Is that
Not one I put much stock in.
okay? All right,
yeah.
but it's possible. We've all seen things and misidentified it and freaked out. It happens. I do it on a pretty regular basis myself. So,
Yeah,
but I'm a little jumpy.
but you love it, and you want to do it. You face the dark and you booked. I know. That was not on this podcast, but
Yeah, no, it was an older podcast. Yeah, I faced the dark and I booked. With my dog actually, and I don't. She
Oh,
made. She had a
yeah.
little coat on, as a matter of fact.
Oh, God
Yeah,
damn
I
it.
used to have this little like coat thing for her. It was like a cool little like lumberjack coat.
Really?
Yeah,
I just didn't know you were that guy.
Yeah, it was a little cold out. Put a little thing on her. Like,
Man,
putting your
she's-
dog in an outfit's a bad thing.
Yeah.
well,
Why?
It just
She's
seems
not living
douchey.
in it. She's just going outside with me, drinking a beer, doing life, getting scared in the woods, running away. That's what we do.
you just look at the dark, drink beer, take off. Because you can't deal with it.
Even if it happened to be 3 dogs clad in tuxedo shirts, I still think the girls would have known it wasn't a
We're
giant
just-
spiderly.
I know, that's
stump.
weird.
I know.
That's weird.
Look, their
It's
their
weird.
description does make it hard to say that it could be a misidentified animal because you could be like, well, it was a fox with a spider costume. It's like this could be a lot of.
Oh,
things.
that's legit.
Yeah, this could be a lot of things
That makes a lot of sense.
They just
But-
went down to the
because they did describe it
Halloween
as
shop.
Spirits Halloween shop and
because they did describe it as a weird stump-leg creature with a T-shirt. Yes, it is kind of hard to misidentify something like that, but we're just leaving the door open to that. That's
Fair
all
enough.
we're doing. That's it. We're the fair and balanced
know.
pod.
Oh, we weren't so fair and balanced when I was talking about emotionally resonant trees. Then it was just the be a dick to Rob pod.
No, it wasn't. We're just not agreeing with
Yeah.
your basis of vegetables having sorrow.
I
That's all.
swear to God, we are doing a pod about emotional plants.
Oh my God!
I'm going to make you guys.
Can I get the
respond
screaming
to the
Caesar salad,
solid
please?
Research
Yeah.
of the fucking
So
of the anxious romaine.
I'll
So-
take the screaming garden.
these are the
salad.
only 2 witnesses to these stump-like aliens.
Yes.
But there was a thing here where the sheriff saw something, right?
He saw UFOs.
Okay, so the
above
sheriff
the
saw
Reeve
UFOs.
house, and by
Okay.
UFOs, anomalous lights that were moving about.
Right, and that was part of the thing too, though, was this whole light.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
thing
Kinda
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's weird.
The Mill Race monster and other things like it became kind of a frenzy for the local people. Like they were very excited by this. And the UFO to me is not nearly as bizarre as 3 outfitted stumps booking across the road, but that to me is probably the most traumatic part because you see this
Right.
weird one
Well,
light
it's weird.
and you're like, oh,
totally.
who's that? Who's fucking following us? Chuck some rocks,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, doosh,
Yep.
and these bright lights
Yeah.
are enveloping
One
you. and
light
you
with
see
a
this
cover, whatever
dome.
that means.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And we still
And then a
don't
bunch
know.
of lights. and then a dome.
and a ruddy kind of colored smoke.
And smoke.
So it's a fog machine. It's a
Motley
UFO.
Crouton, or it's a Motley Crue video.
It's a Motley
You
Crouton
say
Crouton
Motley
video.
Crouton?
I did.
You just plugged your own 80s
No,
cover
I'm
band?
so used to saying that
Motley
name
Crouton.
that.
It flows off the tongue.
Yeah.
Is there a
So
Motley
it's-
Crouton Facebook page?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
All right, so all you listeners out there, you should go and like Chris's 80s metal cover band. Is that right? 80s metal? Yeah, 80s metal cover band. Motley Crouton. That's
Sure.
right.
It's not all
Motley
metal, but-
Crouton. No, you guys do Thriller.
No, we don't. Thriller.
What?
I thought you guys did
We
Thriller.
have never done Thriller in our lives.
No, you do Billie Jean.
Nope.
What Michael Jackson song do you
Wow,
guys?
what is
Michael Jackson
happening?
song do you
We
guys
used
do?
to Beat It like 10 years,
Okay, I was
15 years
I was
ago.
close with.
Yeah, no, you
Oh
nailed it.
my God.
All right, they did Beat It and it was good live. So anyway, but go check out
We
Chris's
haven't done
80s
that,
metal
yeah.
cover band, Motley Crouton.
It is fun.
Facebook, like the page.
And
So
yeah, so it's a metal video at this point, 80s.
yeah.
And it's stumpy.
But now, when they came across these things, they were going across the street.
So
up
they're
over a ridge, so
running.
they
Running
didn't
away
see
from the
them.
dome.
They didn't see them come from the UFO.
no, they were running towards the UFO.
and they didn't even really see UFO, did they? I mean, they saw
No,
lights.
you're
No,
absolutely right.
They saw
All right.
domy.
They saw a domed,
Yeah.
lit. So it could have been a custom truck. I mean, who knows?
Dude, what year was this?
Yeah, what kind of dome?
66.
All right, dude, you get some deer hunting lights and a big ass truck. You were spotting deer. What, the dogs out?
So you're saying it was just dogs in a truck?
And you don't want to accidentally shoot your own dogs, so you put them in multicolored shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a good.
So those are hunting dogs, poachers, well-lit truck, two scared girls, mystery over.
Yeah.
Not
they put
nearly-
a cover on the truck bed.
Not
That
nearly.
looks like a dome.
They had a
for
plow in the front that kind of made it look more
Yeah.
curved.
Yeah. Not nearly as cool as Alien Stumps, though.
No, it's, all right. See
So
you next
they-
week. Fuckers. See you next week.
So these, again, they didn't really see the actual UFO, but they did see these creatures scurry
They did
across.
see it. They don't know it's a UFO.
Right, but
it's a misnomer to call it a UFO because it's
Right.
unidentified, but it was never flying. But it is a UO.
Yeah.
Right. So then they saw these creatures scurry across the road.
Identified.
It is kind of.
I see lots of
It is
UOs
kind of
every
interesting.
day.
Like,
Sure.
I guess it does beg the question of were these stump aliens in these T-shirts? Were they the pilots of this UFO, or like we mentioned, like the bird beast of R? Were they like some sort of like pet or creature that? Where would they?
Absolutely. And regardless
Or
of
not even related. There's always a
Or-
possibility.
There's
a
always a
chance.
possibility,
Or
yeah.
there's a chance that
Completely
these
not even
were
related.
Like alien bounty hunters coming down, kind of like the movie Critters, where these stumps
yeah,
got
yeah,
loose
yeah.
on Earth and they're not supposed to be here, and these guys are like, all right, fuck this. We
Stump
got to get them.
hunters.
Because if the stumps get loose,
They were filming Stump Hunters for their planet. It was an episode of Stump Hunters.
Stump
Is that what do they do? Like stump calls out in the forest?
yeah, what would be a stump
they
call?
like-
a
like-
creaking branch?
Like knock on trees for the stumps.
That's a Sasquatch thing.
Yeah, I'm transposing it into the stump
Fair
hunt.
enough. You know what, though? Regardless of whether or not you want to think it's happening on Earth, and boy, it probably is, the idea of sentient plants from another planet is kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah,
because
totally.
if plants develop the will to be fashionable and pilot UFOs, that would be just crazy. You don't need to eat, except, I mean, I guess just bask in the sun if you're a chlorophyll-based plant and just
Well, that's
do your thing.
That's the only
Or
plant
maybe
we
these things
know.
are like fungoids.
Could be.
Like weird, half-dead.
fungoids?
Fungus is just scummy. We all know
It's
that.
an interesting description of an alien creature, though. Is there anything similar to this? Like anything
I
at
mean,
all?
there's giant
Like where
spiders
it's-
that are seen occasionally, but
Right.
a shirt or outfit wearing tree stump with a gaggle of random taproot-like legs.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When it moves, tell me, I mean,
It sounds
spiders
like it
freak
should
me
be-
out.
yeah, no,
a
like it
little.
should be,
like
like,
a scummy
scurrying.
crab
Yeah,
spider just
yeah.
across the road.
I
It's
hate
just
it.
horrible.
No, I hate it.
Like I see it, and I'm in my mind. I'm like, you know, bad enough you're already terrified by whatever the hell it is behind you when you're running home. Then you see these things just shoot right in front of you.
Yeah. It's weird.
Like at that point, you're just running blind and in terror because you're like, I can't see the
Probably,
third
yeah.
thing. I cannot deal with anything else for the rest of the way home. I just need to be safe. So it's weird.
It is kind of weird that the sheriff did see lights and UFOs.
Well, he saw
Kind of
lights.
lights.
I mean,
It's kind of
that's somewhat less impressive and hard to actually correlate with the rest of the story, to be
Yeah.
honest. Because why would this UFO a couple days later just be randomly and at height flying above this girl's house.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have a hard time. I have a feeling that was kind of wishful thinking on the deputy's part.
Yeah,
He was just
that could
like,
be.
"Oh man, I saw a light. It's awesome."
All right, so this, again, this could be something that was misidentified, but
It could have been a space crab.
I want it to be
A shitty arachnid.
Yeah, no, I want it to be an alien. I'm
But,
not sure.
I mean, a
I'm not
shitty
sure what
space
proof we
spider.
have of that,
Yeah.
but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, the only proof
You
we
don't need
might
the
have
proof.
is what was this thing in the road that clearly wasn't in the road the next day.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, that's the other thing too. That's where this shit is not. It's great because I'll read about stories like this in scads of like old timey books, and then I'll find more shit that was published on the internet, and then maybe if I'm lucky enough, find a PDF by a old school ufologist that really did the research. Not always lucky, and in this case, I didn't get this.
Yeah,
so
no.
I don't know, like if they found trace effects in the road, or if
Right.
it was a dirt road and maybe there was impressions, or what. If anything, somebody probably did do these investigative things, and there's information
Maybe.
out there somewhere. But fuck all if I know where to find it.
Right. All right.
So, and plus, this is this is dated now. This is 50 years plus gone.
Yeah.
So there's only so much you can do.
No other sightings, nothing similar anywhere else. So.
Well, shirt wearing, tree stumps scuttling with a random amount of taproot like legs.
Yeah.
That is not a common occurrence.
No, it's pretty out there.
Yet.
I know.
Oh, when it does become a common
2022,
occurrence,
it's just going to be you're going to call it Tuesday. Just a standard thing.
Yeah. The
Honey-
train's going to be the last thing you're worrying about in my backyard.
Get the kids out of the yard.
Can you imagine if it becomes
crabs
like
are coming through?
like a fucking Day of the Trifid scenario where these stumps just are there? Especially
yeah.
here would be the
Yeah.
weirdest invasion, and I know I'm going off on a fucking tangent here, but like they don't attack you, they're not eating your food or taking your resources. Just shirt-wearing scuttle stumps,
Yeah.
disturbing to kind of look at, ignoring you, just all over the place, like fucking just random deer running
Just
around.
being around.
Yeah, so I mean,
don't
just
know
the
if
crows or whatever.
I wouldn't know how to deal with an invasion like that. I'd be like, if they were just sharing our planet but not really fucking with us at all and
Right.
not really hurting us or taking our resources, we would have to be like the Buddhist in me is like, yeah, we just live and let live.
I mean, they'd have
But
to
the
be kind of taking our
the
resources.
scary human. Well, I mean, what if they're just taking sunlight to eat and maybe sipping some fresh water, but not enough to like steal it from us?
I think we might have to fight back.
If that.
Well, that's the thing. Do we?
Yeah, this is
It
our
depend-
fucking planet,
well,
dude. We
it
fight
depends.
But they didn't do anything. That's
back. This
the
is
thing.
a Red Dawn on an intergalactic scale.
Are you fucking Harry Dean Stanton?
Yeah,
Avenge
I-
me,
yeah.
boys.
Yeah.
Avenge
Well,
me.
it depends. If they come up, if they just you
Fucking
need sun, but
Wolverines,
they would mean they probably need water too. So if there's just hundreds and they just root themselves in your lawn,
Yeah, but
Like,
so what? So do trees. If they're not really hurting
yeah, but they're
anything.
not
I
they're
don't
not
know, man.
mobile. They don't walk around and just plant themselves in a spot. So imagine 50 of these things just show up in your front lawn,
Yeah.
and they're just piled.
All right, yeah, no, literally, imagine that.
You know what I mean?
But it's not hurting anything, but it's still horrible and haunts you every day.
Yeah, no, we fight back.
We would because we're asshole persons, but I think, well, species, I should say, not individually as
I don't-
persons.
Well, it would definitely fuck up some
It's an
things.
asshole thing.
Well, I don't
think
know if
it's-
they'd fuck up any.
It depends on the amount.
Yeah, you're right.
It definitely depends on the amount. If it was
I-
global, we'd have to do something about it.
Well, yeah, but if they're just always there, if it just makes it really hard to mow your lawn, like, God damn it, things, just go.
I don't know, man.
Things like that don't
But
stop
how
there.
long until we got
Yeah.
used to it? Like for the first month, everyone's losing their fucking minds, and then you're like, and then after a while, you're just like, you find ways to like make it convenient, like just set your beer on it and then try to get it to follow you around. So it's like a walking
the nice,
coffee
like,
table.
where there's no ill effects of it.
Yeah,
But then there's
yeah.
like, what if they just start rooting into your house? What if
Oh,
there's just
yeah.
get infesting
You
stuff?
get a million of
what
them.
What if they keep going just deeper and they're fucking up the ground and it causes
Yeah,
earthquakes?
like little frackers.
Like yeah, and they keep. What if they get
What
into
if
the
that's
road?
their whole thing is they're here to
roads start
frack?
collapsing.
Yeah.
If they're taking more water, that means they're going to be sapping all the stuff from the water table, so your water's going to go down.
So we really have to be aware of the stump
I
invasion.
am not a scientist, but that sounds all fucking legit. What I
No,
just said.
whatever. This is why I'm on board with Chris, and we're going to the prom.
But you
got to
wait. You don't want to immediately like start throwing fireballs.
No,
No.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You can't know because then you never know. Because
You have to try to at least make contact and be like, "What
Do
are
you
you
want to
doing?"
deal with 200 or 2 million of them?
Well, who knows? Maybe they all show up, all of them, all at once. One day you wake up and they're there, and no one knows how they got there.
Yeah, we wake up and you don't have a lawn anymore. It's just stumps.
Day of the Stumps.
Day of the fucking stumps.
No.
This-
All right, so what do you guys think? Do you guys think these girls are misidentifying something, or they really did see these weird stump-like T-shirt wearing
even know.
creatures scuttling back to their ship?
The T-shirt is just really kind of
weird.
a wrench in the whole thing because
That's the one thing that makes me think it isn't just misidentified wildlife or who knows what, because clothing indicates some sort of intelligence, some sort of.
But then again, like how do
What are they
they
covering?
how did
Their
they see all those
Trump-like
colors though?
genitalia?
The shame of their barky nipples. Who knows?
How would they? I feel like they. How could they detect all those colors anyway? Though, really. By the light of the covered flashlight.
Yeah, who knows?
That's what I mean. So
How
who
do they
knows
see?
What
How
did
do
you
they
even? What
breathe?
did you really even see?
What did they really see? That is
Yeah.
the question.
Yeah, and why are these stumps wearing? Again, why are they wearing T-shirts?
Maybe to designate rank. Maybe because they just like to look good.
Like stormtroopers. I like that. How stormtroopers have different colored pauldrons. I like that.
Yeah, but
a
that
lot.
doesn't claim that. It just says they all had. I got that they all had multicolored shirts
yeah,
on.
no, but maybe it's like the commander, the lieutenant, the
it
captain,
didn't. It
the
didn't say like
admiral.
I saw one with a red shirt. I
No,
saw
they
one
were
with a
very
white shirt.
vague. They just said they wore colored outfits, and then they mentioned like red, blue, white, and watermelon.
Yeah.
But they didn't say how the colors
How it
were
was-
broken up.
yeah, right.
Like, the one indicator that it must be multicolored, though, is the fact that they said there was 3 stumps, and there was like 5 or 6 colors.
Yeah, that's what
whatever
I
it
mean.
was.
So I just assumed
yeah.
they were all wearing the same multicolored weird.
Or yeah, maybe. It's hard knowing.
Yeah. All right. So alien stumps.
Respect your tree overlords.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chris. What do you think? Do you think it's an alien sighting, or do you think it's just a misidentification?
I don't even know at this point.
All right. All right. I mean,
I don't think you can misidentify something that.
No, I
has
don't
a-
think it's a misidentification.
No,
It's either an outright hoax or they saw something anomalous.
Well, I guess we didn't talk about that. They could have very well be making this up.
Of course, but
obviously.
that's always a
That
caveat.
always falls on
It's
drugs
always
and-
diabetes.
Drugs
Yeah.
and diabetes.
Yep, drugs and diabetes. Once you
Yeah.
rule that out,
Yeah.
but they seemed, by all accounts, scared, and their parents seemed to recognize genuine fear when they came in.
Right.
And it's not like Bobby Parkins down the street who has a crush on you and is following you with his bizarrely covered flashlight or whatever
I
they
know
thought it
how
was.
that is. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
No, what? Who? Never stalked anyone.
Man
ever.
crush,
Who's Bobby Parkins? I don't know.
I don't know. It's not a pseudonym. It's not real.
Well, he probably is, and he's out there listening, going,
Yeah,
"Fuck."
I know, like, oh, they busted me.
I know.
God damn it!
I thought I got away with it.
Damn it! Delete Facebook.
They got me in my goddamn pack of stumps and shirts. Son of a
Pack
bitch!
stumps.
It's my goddamn dog with spider costumes on. They got me.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, if you had a fuck ton of pipe cleaners and attached them to
Oh,
multicolored shirts
jeepers
and
sakes.
put them on your dog and sent them running out at night after you've decorated your pickup to look like a fucking super UFO,
A dome,
and that is
yeah.
just your way of asking fucking
You know,
Kathy
actually-
Reeves to the prom. God damn it! The
My
prom
mom-
keeps getting brought up.
Yeah, I know.
Then maybe that, and maybe it just went all out of proportion.
My mom
and
did
things
have one of
went
those
wrong.
spider suits for
dog?
her Scottish Terrier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See?
it was kind of cute.
There it is.
Yeah, just got little spider legs coming off of him. He'd run around, hated it. Just trying to
Your whole family likes to fucking dress dogs against their will. Don't
Yeah,
they?
apparently it's a tradition.
whatever.
Wow. Just wow.
Disappointment, sir.
Wow.
Disappointment. All right, I mean, again, because I want to keep this fun, I'm going to say that, I think that they saw alien stumps. Is the possibility of misidentification there? Always. The T-shirts make it a little bit weird.
I almost guarantee you they misidentified them. I think that it's
So wait,
like,
what-
no, listen. I think it's almost certainly extraterrestrial or at least interdimensional or something like that. But I doubt they were made of wood and
Right.
came to life like little Pinocchio fucking stumps that, were blessed by the blue fairy to have life and be little boys. I think they're probably biological entities that just to girls who had never seen anything quite like that, or it could have been anyone, just human beings that had never seen anything like this, see these shirt-wearing scum spiders fucking shooting by them in the dark. They're like, it looked like tree stumps with their roots running, but
Yeah,
I doubt
alright, yeah.
that they're actually like living wood or plant
Yeah, no, I don't
creatures. They're
think so either.
probably
Okay.
some sort of fauna from somewhere or some sort
Right.
of being or entity
All right, so there you have it.
that just look like stumps.
Scummy, weird alien crab stump spiders.
Yep.
Boom, nailed
Sail
it.
it.
Sexy as hell. Delightful.
Cool. There it is. What do we
Free stump stash
what
rides.
do we do? How do we even end it?
I mean, there's just nowhere.
Thanks for listening.
go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so there you have it. Thanks for listening to
my
the
God, you
Kryptonaut
are broken
podcast
tonight, man.
Yeah, I know I'm shot, dude. I'm gonna try that again. All right, cool. So there you have it. Thanks for listening to the Kryptonaut podcast. Be sure to contact us and let us know what you think the stumps are.
And tell me if you
Other
believe
than stumps, I guess.
trees feel, because God bless you.
Yeah,
if you
tell
do.
us if you're on board with Rob and his.
I think it's potentially true. I didn't say every fucking kiwi has a blog.
Why does it have to be?
They might though.
Yeah. Why would if it's one? Why wouldn't it be all?
Because not all everything is all everything. Boom.
That is just some Deepak Chopra right there.
I totally Chopra'd you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right, Rob Chopra. You enjoy your webinar.
Everything is something. Something
Yeah.
is here.
Be sure to rate and review this. Be sure to rate and review this podcast on the Apple Podcast and the iTunes apps. Helps us out greatly. Be sure to follow us on the social medias, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Instagrams. We're there, and hit us up there to let us know about your theories or concerns about the stumps.
Concerns.
Tell us
we
your
really
concerns
kind of
about
went
the
down a
stumps.
rabbit hole. We went down a deep stump hole of what
yeah.
we're going to do when the
Well,
invasion
we-
comes.
Presented a scenario that's concerning.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
it-
You're
it's
gonna
very
wake up and
concerning.
have just stumps everywhere.
And I hope
No
that-
one needs that.
Good
I hope we
luck.
all do the right thing and stop them before they overtake us.
I just see. I feel
Yeah.
like that's where you have that 1950s military man, like kill before you understand. Sometimes you got to know, and then kill it.
You've got the Cold War in you.
Oh yeah, you do. You got the Cold War all
You
over
got the
you,
Cold
buddy.
War. Buy your flamethrowers. Get ready.
Jesus. All right, this is Cold War Mark signing off. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, stash fire somewhere.